Morning, everyone. Nate here with Portside Rustics. Probably wondering what the heck are we looking at onions for? Well, I work at a place called Big Papa's. We are a vegetable and fruit store. Open 3 days a week. We go through a lot of vegetables. And so one of the jobs is to make the shelves look presentable. And so as we go through things, sometimes when we're at the onions, we pick up, we grab the paper from it. We'll pick it, so people don't have to look through it and pick through it. And I put it down here in a box until the end of the day. Well, let's see if I can get out some light. This is what we got. We got this onion paper. So I thought, why not do some onion paper glitter? So I'm going to end up bringing this home, kind of sifting through it. I'm going to put it in my Ninja. I'm going to turn it into a powder as hopefully the consistence of glitter. Then we're going to take a jar, a tumbler, something, and we are going to adhere it and then coat it with epoxy and see how it comes out. Well, here we are. We have a little bag of onion paper. Peels. So this is just a small amount of what we usually get. It's pretty dry, so I don't think I got to worry about drying it out anymore. If it doesn't grind up very well, I may have to consider putting it in a dehydrator for a little while or something, maybe make it a little drier. But I mean, it does have some sort of shiny properties. I don't know if it's going to show up on the camera, but it does have some sort of shiny properties. So maybe, and it's a mix of Spanish onion, Vidalia onion, and red onion. Excuse me, my allergies got me. So I have my Ninja, and I'm going to do it in the cup. I didn't bring out the big one with the multi-blade. Try it in here first. If it doesn't cut up that well in here, I'll try the big blade. So let's fill this up. We're going to try to get this fine enough that it's going to be the consistency of, I like it more finer than chunky. So we may just do a little bit at a time, whatever fits in the cup. Hopefully it just doesn't turn into a tornado. But so power on. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's getting there. Let's see. Put the cover back on and try it again. I mean, it doesn't look like much for what I put in there, but it's still a good amount. Let's try to get a little finer. It's getting there. I may have to use a sifter and sift out the finer stuff from the chunkier stuff. Yeah. Because it's kind of at the chunky stage right this moment. Yeah, let me go get a sifter and see if that works. Be right back. I'm back. So, let's move that out of the way. We're going to bring a piece of paper over. Adjust the camera a little bit. We're just going to sift out the real tiny pieces. You can almost make a couple different grades of doing it like this, I guess. Because now, if you really wanted to, you could have a chunky glitter. It is onion, it's not glitter, but I'm going to call it glitter. Well, let's put this back in the Ninja and see if we can't make any more. How much should we get? Looks like chili powder on the camera, but so far so good. We're getting it to the consistency. I was wondering if we're going to get a good enough consistency to be able to use it with epoxy. So let's put this little bit in here. There. Just thought of another technique, almost like a mortise and pestle. Just grind it. Oh yeah, just use a sifter from this point. It kind of has a silky feel to it. Get some of this stickers out of it. Well, I think I have enough to test the theory if it will work. And what it will look like under epoxy. Some bigger chunks out of there. So this is what we have. Wish my lighting was maybe a little better, but so let me get a jar prepared. We're gonna do this on a baby jar. A great way to experiment with things without sending a nice expensive tumbler into a disaster. So if you're liking what you've seen so far and you want to see more experiments of different items used with epoxy, as in tumbler turning, hit the subscribe button, give me a like, and give a share, and turn on your notifications so you wouldn't know when the next video comes up. So let me get set up and we'll be back. Well, jar's all prepped, as in decals been taken off, stickers been taken off, or the stickiness of the glue. I've got it sprayed. I was going to use white, but I don't like my white. So I went with this yellow. And remind you, I got a little finer onion paper. Then a little more, I guess you'd want to call it, as if it was chunky glitter, but it's just chunky onion paper. So I usually use Mod Podge when I do my glitter, but I'm going to give this Elmer's Craft Bond a go. So let's get a piece of paper over here for when I dump the... Now I'm going to spray this. I got a box over here. We're going to coat it. Then we're going to do it. There's a shaker. I'll go with that. And we're going to put on, if I don't have enough of this, we're going to throw on a little bit of bigger stuff. So this is all an experiment. The onion paper. Go to the bottom first. Definitely not sticking like a fine would, but we'll pat it down afterwards. And I think that was all there. So let's see. What if I What if I give it another spray? Pat that down in there. Now with my normal glitter, before I usually don't put a sealer on it before I epoxy it. This, we'll find out how sticky it is. So that's the coverage. It's not 100%, but it's on there. I don't know, maybe I can pick some more of this up. Roll around. I don't know if it's the bonding stuff or if it's just the onion paper itself. Because the onion paper is definitely a lot lighter than glitter. I don't think any of this will stick, but we'll give it a... Well, looks like it might be. We'll just roll it around. Like I said, this is all an experiment. Would I really use this in a real true application? Hard saying, not knowing, depending on... It almost has a cedar sawdust look to it, but guess we'll let that dry. Come back, flake off the stuff that didn't stick. I don't think I got to do another coat. I think we're going to leave it the way it is. After it's dried on there, we'll brush off the loose flaky stuff. So far I can say it's kind of a success so far. I don't know how it's going to react or absorb up epoxy, but I'm going to get my turner set up. When we come back, we'll see how it looks. What's happening, everyone? I'm back. I'm all set up. So off camera, I didn't like the coverage, so I actually sprayed it with the adhesive spray again, rolled it in the bigger, chunkier stuff, and right this moment it kind of looks kind of cool. Don't know how well the video shows, but hopefully it'll stand out when I put the epoxy on. But it's kind of cool. There might be applications that it would be able to be used for. So let's get started. Get it turning the right way. Glove down. Probably have more than I need, but I have about 20 mLs in here. I could put some more over on the cup I have going on over here. I'll smooth that out later. But let's get started. I didn't seal it afterwards. It is a little flaky. Hoping it'll all go down kind of like using chunky glitter. You may have to sand it afterwards. But let's start at the bottom. And it is flaking. It's probably going to mix in, but it's okay, right? adhesive spray that I had seems to be holding pretty good. It's not peeling up and off. This is definitely going to take a few coats. I'm probably going to give it one really heavy coat just so I know that it has some good coverage, because it does stick up. It is like a chunky glitter. It's going to stick up out of the epoxy on the first coat. I will end up having to sand it down probably a little bit. Trying to make sure I get far enough up here. It's hard to see from where I put everything where the tape is that I'll be pulling off in about 40 minutes to get a nice line. But you can really see kind of in the light glare that it's eating up a lot of epoxy. I mean, I literally put 20 milliliters of epoxy on this little jar. Let's see if we can't get it now turned the other way. But as of right this moment, folks, that's what we have. I will come back in the morning and I'll already have the tape pulled off. This will spin. Probably I'll wake up about 2 o'clock, come out, check it. It'll end up getting shut off. But it's definitely going to be bumpy and lumpy. But I'll take some 400 grit sandpaper, wet sand it, put another layer on. Kind of like what the purple over on the one that's spinning over here. There's a little chunkier glitter stuck up. So after I sanded it, it had some bumps. I got to put vinyl on it, but I wanted a nice smooth surface first. So we'll come back in the morning and check out the progress and see if this is going to be a yay or nay. Probably won't be the final time. Probably wait till I put a second coat on it to really see if it's a nay or yay. So, see everybody in the morning. This is it, folks. This is not the complete finished product. I still got to paint the cover. But, so this has 3 coats of epoxy. I did the video of me putting the first one on. Then I lightly sanded it because it had some really pokey areas. My wife loved the texture. She thought the textural part was cool. But I know how people would be. They'd be like, oh, it's bumpy, lumpy, lumpy, bumpy, because they don't like imperfections. Well, let's see if I can get a decent close-up picture here for you. So, the question is it glitter? Is it confetti? Or is it a yay or nay? Still has a few bumps to it. I'm thinking we're just going to leave it. It's because the onion peels, when they got epoxy on them, they get so hard. I'd had to sand down a real lot. It gives it some character, conversation. Would I use this material again in a different project? Absolutely. Although I might try it with just the red onion paper. I may try it with just the Vidalia and then just the Spanish on bigger project. But with something like this, I'm not sure. It would be used as a texture color, like as if you're going to do a sand for a beach theme type thing or something, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to put a vinyl on it of an onion. Probably won't. Leave it as it is. So if you think it's a yay or nay, leave a comment below. And yeah. So the onion peel.